We're gonna go into what do you think has made America more unfortunate situations. For me, one of the situations is I believe for me lawyers, the what these are hidden quote unquote or key elements of what are issues that need to be addressed or can be addressed, things that aren't particular in any category, but the influx of all of a sudden people believing like don't you believe nowadays how things are uncertain and things of that nature, or how many things happen? You might need a lawyer once in your lifetime. It wasn't like that before. So I think the increase of security, quote unquote, is one of the main causes of things. Because let's say back then you might have relied on a neighbor or so, an interaction, a union, an ally. I'm not gonna exactly say union, but some type of feeling of camaraderie to resolve an issue, whether it be in the store, whether it be the community working together. They don't like how this person is bothering people that are just trying to shop, and they're being extra aggressive or whatever. The increase of lawyers and things like that makes it so that instead of that being the issue being resolved sooner, it takes more longer in people's minds to be able to solve the issue, because there's more people thinking about a monetary type of value gained in the situation. And because of that, even in the workplace dramas is taking a lot longer. People are not, or people rely on some type of back and forth. There's more. I'm not gonna say everybody, but because there's been an influx of these quote unquote options, right? People feel more I'm not gonna say deliberate, but they feel more capable of, for some reason, they have like some type of assurance on being able to solve the situation in the best of ways, whether it be even threatening a manager they're gonna lose their job for another job, or some type of interaction like that, which I'm not blaming. I think that was good to put some type of front line on one of the issues, some type of defense system against the major abuses going on in the pandemic, of people being overworked and fired because the manager lost all their employees, or they lost the brightest stars, and they're taking it out on people, or people being overworked. People have no say so on overtime. That is let's say working people forced to work 12-hour shifts and stuff because we need that, or people been quitting or whatever. You probably know, if you work in a essential needs type of environment of work during that time, you're of age, that you've been doing that type of thing. People quitting just for a check. That's what I mean about the options. I'm not gonna say I haven't done or never done similar things like that, but it does feel good. You have a real, but that option right there, COVID checks, being paid more than your actual job, or getting a big boost. Instead of waiting for another job or applying and immediately switching, there's people literally, I don't even want to say too much, but all of these options suddenly being available at the same time, I think it actually crippled the communication, the alliance of the people in sorts of manners, the the quickness of problems being resolved. It seems like there's a lot more problems. There's been a lot more over hiring, fake. That's another thing. So it actually, anybody who is not like a top percent of the population, not like a 10%, 5, 1, whatever it is, 20, you're not rich, you don't have like a real big business or anything, you're being greatly affected immediately with a mistake that the boss makes in a policy. You're the first one to feel it, first one to deal with it, and it can take years to resolve now more than ever. There's people who hiring managers as well. Literally back then, before the pandemic, there's people working 15 plus hours, not getting enough. So imagine in the pandemic. So there's a lot of people in middle management, higher management, this and that they said they could have been good people, but that's exactly what is the abuse of someone's kindness increased in that time. And I haven't seen a visible, besides certain people quitting, I like there was some type of pushback, but that, or just people, I'm not here to say being rebellious is the option, but people working together to, let's say people that's just not doing anything at all. You got to pick up the slack. You got to get it, or you're forced to join that. You're forced to, be involved in anger activities or whatever it is. Like instead of you focusing on your health, your life, you go to work, clock out. It's like you're forced to get into office type of drama, business drama, whatever type of drama you want to put it in. Whether it's warehouse, whether you put it in, you name it, and everything is more of a. If it's not a competition, I'm not gonna say everything, but it feels like if it's not a competition, then it is a direct, it can be like an altercation, and these things are spilling out in society because people are more in work, in job environments that is actually more toxic possibly than ever before. And that one option of everybody thinking about whether it's a some type of retaliation of mentioning, I got this better job or whatever it is to somebody in charge, or threatening to quit, or whatever it is, or just threatening to do the least possible. I think that's not the best thing. Not here to judge, but how if you don't do the least possible, but you're gaining exposure to different gaining exposure and improving your skills in that time, and you put it on, let's say you get a better job with those new developments, that is not bad at all. But being abused as well isn't. I recommend using the best capabilities to use that as a solution, a walking solution to betterment and better capabilities, and a better lifestyle if possible. But let's say if you do none of those things, right? It's hard, whatever it is. You don't see a way out. At least, right? In the very least, I believe that you should for a healthier environment than just too angry to concentrate, too angry to defend anything about yourself or what is not, or to don't cripple the defense that you have for one that hasn't even shown up yet. Everything sounds good, suing sounds good, everything. Nobody tells you how hard or how that can be. Even if you just put the company at this convenience, it doesn't mean that you gained in a convenience. You could just, not gain anything at all. You put more effort away from, even a little effort that you had, a little time, you took even more of that away from yourself for an idea that might have not even existed. So it's like or hard to prove later on, or to find somebody that that said or was really into your case and suddenly quits and spreads the word or not, or like you have no idea. Maybe he just they made a mistake along the way, and it just can become very hard. So in my opinion, if it's gonna be resolved quicker, do that. I say pray to God as well in these types of situations. He's the one that really can help more than anything. Besides that, some of these places, man, like it made sound. Matter of fact, but before I even say anything about what I was gonna get into, I'm gonna say that like any type of what you may or may not call like community assistance, right? Or just employee assistance of any kind, like it can really help. And I'm not talking about just trying to go the easy way out kind of a thing, or just try to. I'm not talking about like nitpick advanced or extended. That's the word. I said advanced. Extended, like nitpicking, super snitch kind of categories where somebody dropped a pencil and they're getting reported constantly, kind of a thing, or people are. I'm not talking about the only way to be safe is to go through extreme measures, right, of safety, where that is the only way, or I don't know, like just to report every single thing, or that type of behavior. But what I am saying is that because that can be really hard on certain people, especially problem starters. Like they probably are not so scared to cause issues. So I'll just say that on big issues, people not showing up, people leaving like hours early, or going to the restroom for extended, quote unquote, that could be worked with, especially let's say it's 100-degree weather and you're working in a hot area, and people just drinking water, that can be understandable. I don't recommend the sweat as much as possible in that situation, and be in a situation where you need to call the ambulance later on because of that, and there wasn't enough water, or you wasn't drinking enough, you didn't want to go to the restroom, and now they got to call the ambulance. I'm not talking about those type of situations, but situations where people are just every single like hour of the day just disappearing and doing this. Like if there can be any type of communication to remove that kind of behavior, or even just the office offering water, so there's less excuses on that. That can be extreme, instead of all the pressure on one person or a few always. And I mean, sometimes it is what it is. You feel me? Everybody's not gonna, but if you are in that situation, any alleviation can greatly feel better. Sometimes you're just the only person that's been there long enough to be capable of handling multiple tasks on there until somebody else gets there, kind of a situation. If that's the case, no blaming, just helping and assisting. Anything can help. And you feel like you might be overloaded, or even are, or getting close to that. And I'd like to see solutions more in people's life as well, and God can help with that. So I'm saying that having those types of options open is way better than what is the other options that can backfire or not go as planned, or instead of just settling for anything, oh well, and welcoming, any type of results, or other people feeling like they gotta go do stuff vigilante way kind of a thing, and ended up in places they don't need to, or trying to drag you along, or trying to make the environment, if not you, somebody else in the work environment is insane. And that the only forms or ways supposed, allegedly, I'm gonna say, not supposed to, but allegedly, to get certain people out or whatever, though. So any sort of alleviation instead of just stress and anger, and I'm pretty sure some people, just based on watching the news, can already get that, or explaining and that, or argument, whatever, when they get home and they already worked a certain amount of hours, and then toxic work environment. Because let's be honest here, if you were most people would not rate their jobs 10 out of 10 strictly by choice, anonymously, right? And not, let's say someone would just walk down the street and ask you about your, how would you rate your job? I'm a random person, like a stand or something. Most people would not, and you were just completely anonymous, no name, no nothing. Most people would not put a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 9, 8.5 type of categories right there. And if you do, it's probably, a lot of people, it's probably because they're not. Matter of fact, I don't even want to get into that situation if they do or not, but it may not be because of just purely loving your job, is what I'm gonna say. And if you do got a good job, I'm pretty sure you want to protect it, because that is not normal. It's not common to have a good manager, a manager that watches what is going on, what is not, what can possibly happen or not. Just somebody that can possibly be of caring value, of somebody that can assist in some type of way, somebody that is willing to, somebody that allegedly or possibly just a manager. Some of these things, it might not even be like just characteristics. This is why I'm saying why communication and things, and if possible, working together for a solution that can bring a greater outcome instead of just a quick release kind of a thing. Just something that feels good for the moment, but something can arise later on, type of stuff. It's not, some of these stuff is just literally a manager asking for a manager to walk around a little bit more, maybe can be a solution. People are in the best behaviors when the principal or somebody high is inspecting. Sometimes the simple solutions can prevent the biggest problems. Prevent somebody feeling like they got to show some type of anger, or some type of tantrums, you can say, some type of decisions that are not the best in the moment, and that stuff like that could go farther than what you think. The anger that's carried, just the amount of fact that you might not know what time you're gonna get home because of overtime and stuff like that, helping people go home early, whether it's you're talking to somebody, stuff like that. We're talking to somebody, no matter where you at work. I'm pretty sure everybody likes that, and overtime being optional. And even you, let's say if that's what you want to do, if you don't mind the job environment or work, or working more, maybe if that is your work environment, finishing early or getting stuff done early, help yourself not have to go to overtime, or asking to help out more to prevent the overtime increases if possible. Maybe just you staying 2 hours 2 days out the week or something like that can help you get out earlier. and be with your family more, or doing something else rather than what you're currently doing, and keeping, keeping these things private as well. It could be somebody, just because they don't like the manager, or they don't like a decision they made, they try to ruin that decision process, even if it helps everybody. They just don't like you. You're the one saying it. It's very jealous, very, so it doesn't matter who it is. Like try to, yeah, it's pretty, the type of anger people's facing, the people caring too much about the news. I'd rather people don't watch the news, right? Then because they watch the news, they going insane, and they causing all these problems in society, because the news is not just the information. Depending on who you're watching, it's not just a center of information. There can be aggression on the news person, the news anchors, the news, whatever it is, and it could be better to, I'm promoting that, or just switching stations if possible, finding somebody on another platform than where you're getting it from. This benefits everybody. Instead of, I don't want to go walk around, the maintenance man ain't show up because he was too mad at another situation, the news, on time, or whether it's in your house, whether it's in, taking out the trash, or this and that, almost some type of anger issue happening there, this and that. And that's another thing, because I don't like people thinking about the final option as the first option, as well as suing. Instead of trying to fix the issue, that they want to try to, thinking about that option first place. And now, there's a lot more, the whole neighborhood is not coming out because there's altercation with this one neighbor, or these, and they think, it just makes everything so much more. The trash is not, let's say you work at some type of maintenance store, retail, customer service, the bathroom's looking crazy all the time, a lot more, people slipping and falling more. Maybe maintenance man, you feel so underappreciated or angry at the boss. This stuff spreads. So let's say it's just the cashier level, and that spreads to maintenance. That is a huge problem that shouldn't be there. There's items that stock in the store. Let's say you're one of those customers that, they say that this item is in the store right now, and maybe it's in the back somewhere. Maybe it'll be in the front if it was just a better communication, better work environment, and there'll be a lot less hassle, argument. People, oh no, this person lied. He said it's not there, and it's there. And because people are thinking about that last option too much. And I'd rather that be the last option, or one of the last, not plan A, basically. Z, X, Y would be best if possible, not plan A. Plan A basically means that nothing else is worth it, nothing else is possible, and some people can think that everything in between, starting an issue or into some type of altercation, verbal altercation, whatever, is the best option. I'm not a big fan of that. The maintenance man issues, or people slipping, or whatever. I ain't gonna say people slipping, but whatever it is, man. Like, some people are just, it's just not. And sometimes it's just saying information to people that, let's say, even if they care for you, you care for them, to somebody that is not, either saying all this or that, but it's a good plan, and they're not really capable. They're too angry to really focus and try to get things I'm gonna say agile, right? Like some that this battle isn't worth it. This one is. This one, like, you got to really see what's going on, and they don't got the patience for that, and they're just angry and just want to take it out. Sadly, even if that is your husband, wife, mom, dad, whatever it is as close as it can be, it does not mean that they can solve an issue. Some issues that you need more of a specialist, whether it's a mechanic, whether it's this and that in life, and it goes the same way with that. But if you really need to as well. Matter of fact, I don't like to talk about all these types of different things sometimes, but I think it's worth it So I'm gonna say it, even counseling or going to church more. Because counseling can help, it can be great, but I don't think that alone is life changing. Like your whole life just changed because you went to a counseling session. Everything is amazing, everything. But going over situations of what might be the cause why you feel a certain way about someone or not, or a thing, a place, whatever it is, causing issues, that can be a source, and you can do that online as well. And things can be moving, things can be going in a great direction, or just better direction than last time, and that can be what really counts. If you're gonna have a really bad day and at least something improves, that can be something good to focus, or you just prevented. That's all you did. At least you prevented something and then didn't, and help make the situation better, you can say, than worse. That could be something to look forward to as well, especially when we're dealing with a lot of angry people, angry customers, allegedly or possibly. People that are, or bosses or whatever, that can be, I'm not gonna say like problematic, but I feel like you're getting a heavy load back to back of things to do or not, or situations that might seem unfair, so these types of things is not only a solution, but it just helps in ways you cannot imagine, especially putting God in that situation right there, and you doing your part. Because I feel like just one thing or just doing certain tasks doesn't automatically mean that your life is automatically great or better. Even if it was better than before, you still feel like it's just not enough, and there's nowhere. Just having somewhere safe to go with an issue can be very much great, and sadly, a person, whether it's somebody close or not, can't help. They can be there for you, but not be there with the solution. So these are definitely some things that we can think about throughout the day, week, whatever it is, and can not only help you, but I feel like we're the only ones thinking like that. Let's say there's only one person in the whole job. That can be harder, and sometimes that's the only option there. A lot of people, they're not willing to try nothing at all unless it's like everybody doing it or a lot of people doing it. And the best solution isn't always the most popular thing. Like, it's not like exactly as similar as doing something else, and it's not the most convenient, as in the easiest thing. It's not like doing what you were doing before, kind of the thing. And the world isn't as certain as before, or in the direction of just everything is exactly the same always. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate everybody listening, and I'll see you next time.